All content is brought to you by our Patreon subscribers. For $3 a month, you can help keep the lights on at From North to Wharf. We appreciate all of your ongoing support. For all your North to Wharf merchandise, head on over to our shop at fromnorthtowharf.threadless.com.
Does Hestia know you?
Oh yeah, clearly, we're on a wrong name basis.
And now we're here, and there aren't any monkeys being friends with lions!
Okay, no one said for sure there'd be monkeys, honey.
I'm not gonna arrest the moose.
He's a good boy! He's a good boy!
Being your muse no longer amuses me. That's pretty good, you can use that. But that's it. I'm done with your show.
From the Great North to Wonder Wharf. All right.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of From the Great North to Wonder Wharf, your unofficial one-stop destination for bento box information. As always, I am Mike.
And I'm JB.
JB, do you want to do a nice little proper introduction?
I think I should.
All right.
Okay, everybody. So tonight we are in for a huge treat, Wharfers. We are actually in for the treat of a century, because we are about to have an amazing guest on. Her career has spanned across the screen and off screen since 1997, doing over 25 different things. Honestly, movies, TV shows, voice acting, you name it, she has done it. She first came into our hearts as on Dr. Cat movies, and then as Andy Pesto in Bob's Burgers. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are in for a real treat. So brace yourselves. We have the one and only Laura Silverman on tonight.
Hi.
Nailed it. Good job.
Did it. Did the thing.
All right. Laura, first and foremost, thank you very much for joining us tonight. I know on behalf of JB, myself, and the audience here, thank you very much.
Oh, yeah.
You're
It's
welcome.
huge. We were expecting a get out of here.
Nah.
Expecting, honestly, once you read it, I was like, holy shit, she read it. Take it back. Don't disregard. But the minute you agreed, JB and virtually high-fiving each other and counting our blessings. So super stoked on this.
Yeah, I mean, why not? I didn't have to leave the house, so.
Hey,
It's late for me, though, I have to say. It's 5 o'clock here.
Preaching to the choir. It is 8 p.m. here, and I should already be in bed. So
You got right under the wire because my mom starts, winding down at 6. At 6 o'clock, everything's off. I start my wind down into my 8 or 9 o'clock bedtime. 9, like it's a crazy night.
By 9 p.m., my melatonins have already been taken, and I got my white noise on and my CPAP on, and I'm.
Oh my God, my husband just got one.
It's a godsend, right? A CPAP?
Not for the person who's next to you.
No one being so quiet, like he doesn't snore, but he wasn't a loud snorer. But I don't like it because I used to be able to like talk to him when he was sleeping. Like he's just like this very calm person, and so I could wake up in the middle of the night and be like, "Hey, babe, who are we seeing on Friday? Do we have a?" Yeah, and he'll just like, answer me, and then he's just asleep again. But with the CPAP, he can't hear me. And he's sleeping deeply. So like, even if I'm like tapping him and trying to shake him, he's like, "What?"
Is it a full face mask?
I don't like it. He just got the mask.
The nose.
The nose.
Go through all the like incarnations, iterations.
The mask would be miserable. It'd be like, what? Miserable.
He doesn't feel like it's changed. I don't think he has sleep apnea. I think his doctor is actually like an insurance scammer. We both think we both think that at this point.
Yeah, I have terrible sleep apnea. In fact, I when I did my sleep study, in 1 hour's time, I had 70 different incidents of where my breathing stopped.
Oh, well, yeah, that's not good.
Quick math says that's more than minutes in an hour. So it was constant.
So it's made a big difference. Like you felt the difference.
Yeah. And then the first night I had it, my wife had to wake me up because she thought I stopped breathing because she's so used to hearing my snoring. Yeah, it's so quiet. And she's like, I just want to make sure. I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm alive. But before we get into wind down mommy time, we're gonna let's start off with a super simple question. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in New Hampshire. Bedford, New Hampshire, Manchester, and then Bedford, which is nearby, in the country. Country Jew, rare species. We're the only Jewish people in the.
That sounds like a custom hoodie you need to make.
Yes, country Jew.
Country Jew.
I do that. That's a good idea.
Hey, let us know. We'll get one made up for you. Not a problem.
Okay.
It makes me think of Arrested Development with the Never Nudes. It's like there's a few of us.
Oh.
Did you have now we all love cartoons, but did you have a specific favorite one growing up?
Oh, I really loved Adam Ant, and I mean I loved so many cartoons, but I'm probably dating myself, but Adam Ant, Underdog.
Hey, yeah,
Underdog.
I don't know why I just really gravitated. The one with the old guy who's like, like he tells like that's the one. Young, right?
Huh?
He's smoking a pipe.
Oh, Mr. Magoo? No, not Mr. Magoo.
No. What's that guy's name?
Oh shit.
Oh, the whatever. We'll say. But I loved, I loved all of them. I mean, I really grew up like in front of the TV, so.
Right, same. Yeah.
Well, in the
80s
country,
baby.
there's not a ton to do.
I don't regret it. I don't think it was a bad thing.
No,
not like TV today. Not like TV today.
That's a whole other thing.
That's all on the podcast. JB?
Yes. So I was curious, do you feel like some of these shows, maybe not cartoons, but other shows you watched growing up, impacted kind of like how you approach like been doing kind of like voice work and stuff that you do now?
I don't know. I don't think so. Next. I don't think so, but probably. I mean, everything influences you, but I can't really point to one thing that I was like, I want to do that one day. Not really.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I mean, you're not gonna grow up like, I want to be Wonder Dog.
Yes, Underdog.
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 Underdog. I barely even remember it, but yeah.
Shoeshine Boy
I
became
mean,
Underdog.
I was obsessed with Carol Burnett and Mary Tyler Moore, and all those women were just like amazing to me.
Mm-hmm.
But
no, as a kid watching them, did you feel like, I could do that, or I want to do that?
I've never told anyone this before, not that it's a great story, but I just remember standing in my mom's living room one day, and I was in college and I was depressed and miserable and I didn't know what I was doing with my life. And I was watching Family Ties, watching Justine Bateman, who is great. And I know her and she's great. So this is like, not like an insult in any way, but right. Just watching her and going like, I feel like I could do that.
Oh.
And I want to do that. And I kept it a secret because I was like the shy, quiet, introverted one. And if I told anyone in my family I wanted to be an actor, they would just be like, please don't.
No.
They would think I'm like setting myself up for just horrible embarrassment, disappointment.
Right.
So that was the moment that like the secret started burning in me, where I was just like, I want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know if I think I can do that, but it was more like, I want to do that.
Right. Yeah, no, for sure.
It was a moment. It was a moment.
Nice.
It's nice to have those kind of moments though, every now and then.
Yeah,
to kind of feel like you have some direction.
Yeah, just something about something, it just clicked for me right in that moment. Like I was kind of like, I think I'm gonna really try to do this.
Now, growing up in New Hampshire, in the country, like you said, did that seem like a pipe dream? Like I want to, but like, how do I even get there?
Yeah, how do I get there from here?
I guess so, but like, we grew up like going to New York every spring for a week and going to see Broadway shows, and we going to museums and going to, doing a lot of things that a lot of other kids weren't doing.
Mm-hmm.
And we worked in theater.
Nice.
There was like a professional theater company, like a regional theater company. New Hampshire has some pretty good regional theater. And we did some plays, and all the actors were from New York. And, we just like, we were exposed to people who were doing it. So yeah, somewhat, but I never I always when you watch people accepting awards and they're like, who would have thought that a girl from, and I'm like, you can name any place.
Yeah.
What does it mean? I don't know. I think I just I grew up in this small rural place, but my world was not small.
It was never contained to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
JB.
So now that you've kind of figured out, like, you were watching Family Ties and like, I think I want to do that. How did you end up starting to use that creative side of you that you didn't really know was there, or maybe hadn't given it the time to grow?
I guess I kind of did and didn't. It took me a really long time, but I started. I lived in Boston, and I went to the school, the Museum of Fine Arts, which is I was in art school, but I gravitated to this very small film department, which is kind of a group of us with a bunch of equipment and pretty much no guidance, and making short films. And that was all I did. And mostly all I wanted to do was to be in other people's short films. And then I would audition for short films around Boston, other, student films, and tended to get a lot of them. And I'm sure I never want to see, I don't know what happened to them, but I don't want to see them.
I hope they never come back.
Yeah. But, things like that, took some classes. But as far as really taking the leap, I think it started out as a really close friend of mine, this guy, David Waterman, was in a group called Cross Comedy, which was David Cross's sketch show in Boston. And he kind of recruited me to write with him. So I started writing some sketches with him and then on my own, and they were accepting them. So I kind of became a little bit of a writer for this group. And then David Cross got the Ben Stiller show. So that group disbanded, and I formed a smaller group with some people from that. And I was the only female, so they started having me do parts on stage. And I was terrified out of my mind, so scared. But I'd be just the girlfriend, the wife, the whatever.
Yeah.
And from there, so then I lived with a couple of those people in a house, and they would get called in Boston. There's not an agent system or anything. So the casting directors would just sort of find people at comedy clubs and stuff and like that. So would call for the guys for auditions, and I would, people would call and I would say do you need a girl? And the first time I did that, this guy was like, yeah, come on down. And I ended up booking the whole
nice.
It was Lens Crafters, but it was 10 spots on the radio.
Hey,
so then yeah, and it was cool. So then this casting director in Boston, Maura Tierney, actors that I love, from ER, the best show ever. Maura Ty, she told me that I had a money voice, and I was like, I like the sound of that.
Yeah, definitely.
I honestly felt I had a genuine fear that a microphone could not even pick up the sound of my voice. That's how shy I was back then. And so she actually trained me a little bit, and I put a reel together, and I started working in Boston and then New York, and that's kind of how it went.
So was it just a matter of I'm really shy. I don't want to do this, but I'm just going to kind of cowboy up and kind of do it.
Because I wanted to do it. I was still was terrified.
Yeah.
It's just I just need to at least try it, do it.
Yeah.
My anxiety kind of goes away a little bit, maybe, if I keep doing it.
Yeah, after 10, 15 years or so.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Okay, so we got a ways to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. To backtrack just a little, now I know myself growing up, I wanted to be a astronaut baseball player. Did you have any other career goals before?
I did.
What was that?
when I was 8 years old, I decided that I wanted to be a writer. I wanted to be a novelist, and I still do. I still do. So that's kind of, and it's taken me a really long time. I've written a lot, and I've written scripts that have gotten a lot of attention in a lot of meetings and things. And I've written stories that have been published and stuff like that. But it's taken me a really long time to like actually connect with other people in that circle. And I've finally done that. And so now it's like there's no turning back. So so I am going to do that. I know that's whatever.
That's
I'm
awesome.
a novel, but I am.
Do you already have the skeleton? You had the story? You know what you want to write?
Yeah, I've written a lot.
Ooh, all right, interesting.
Nice.
2025, Laura's first novel. Just mark it down.
That's awesome.
I mean, I still have some time left before
Yeah.
before my time on this earth is over. So
Yeah, I was
Published.
become a New York Times bestseller. It seems pretty simple to do. I've known
win the Pulitzer Prize.
Yeah, that's easy. I mean, you booked 10 LensCrafter spots right off the bat. How hard could
Right?
writing a novel be?
Yeah.
She's like, are you looking for a Pulitzer novel? I can bring that.
I got you. Okay.
Definitely.
Now we're jumping into your professional career with a fan-loved show, one of our favorites, Dr. Katz.
Yes.
In 1995, you broke into the industry with a show. Oh, I already said all that, of course. what was it like meeting and working with Jonathan and, of course, Lauren Bouchard?
Okay, I love this question. When I read this question, it really made me giggle. No, only because like the way that it's phrased, it's like, I mean, you do know that when we did Dr. Katz, Lauren Bouchard was like this 22-year-old kid.
Yes.
Who hadn't done anything. Like, I mean, he was amazing, but his mom had called Tom Snyder, one of the co-creators, co-creators, and said, "Can you give Lauren something to do?" Because
see, but this is the stuff he doesn't talk about. So that's why we love hearing it from other people.
And so, but immediately he just was like on fire and like learning all the technologies, and just, it was just like the right thing. So yeah, I mean, he ended up, he directed all the episodes. He did all the tech stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He did everything.
Vision,
so yeah, it's cool. But like, we were all just buds, you know?
Yeah, it's so weird to think, because we know Lauren Bouchard as, of course, the creator of Bob's Burgers and this and the other. It's so easy to forget. Like, at one time, he was just Lauren the intern, or Lauren the guy who woke up at 10 p.m. and ate the enchilada from the night before, or whatever.
Yeah, no one sees that guy.
Like, I think the better question would be, what was it like for Lauren to meet me for the first time?
We'll ask him. Lauren,
bring him out.
Pretty even ground. Yeah, we were all buds, and Jonathan I actually knew a little bit before. So yeah, I mean, we became close pretty quickly, and he's like family to me. We're still really, really close.
Now, obviously not. Sorry, I was reading the next question. I was like, no, we're not asking that. We already answered that. At that point, was the part already picked for you, or did you do like a traditional audition? Or was like, we know her, give it to her.
We know her from LensCraft.
Yeah, no. Well, yes and no. First of all, it was John Benjamin and I. We were boyfriend and girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
We lived together.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was one of the guys who, like, the phone call I intercepted, and then I did the whole thing, and he was like,
that sounds like
it's like, you want John, you gotta take me too. I'm like, all right, well.
Cool. No, but they called us in separately, oddly.
Oh.
Like, we got not separately. I mean, when they called us both on the same phone number, but 2 times,
right?
Realizing we lived together.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay. That was probably 22-year-old Lauren figuring that out.
They didn't know he was. I don't think he was even in there yet. Yeah, he wasn't. I don't know, because they brought us in. I guess Jonathan says his inspiration for the character was, I lived in a house with Benjamin, and this guy Chuck Sklar, who's a comic.
Yeah.
And a writer. And we had, a house phone, probably maybe had a rotary. We had a house phone. It was in Chuck's room. And so when the phone would ring, and no one was home, I would go downstairs and answer it. And every time Jonathan called, he was friendly mostly with Chuck back then. So every time Jonathan calls, he always opens with a joke. And for some reason, I just like gave him nothing. So I just would go, Chuck, it's for you.
Oh no.
And it gave him the idea. And I always thought that then he didn't put 2 and 2 together and know that that was me, that I was the same person.
Mm-hmm.
But when we just did that podcast all together, he said that's not true. He knew it was me. I don't know. I think, whatever. It's the better story.
I don't know if there's a worse feeling than like telling a joke and then having the other person go, yeah.
Chuck,
pass it off.
Chuck, it's for you.
Yeah.
I can't, Chuck.
Yeah. It's the funny man again. Please take this.
So
The
I guess,
funny man.
yeah, we created the characters. Like we went in, we were the only people to audition, and John and I went in together, and this was at Tom Snyder's house, and they made a little sound booth in his kitchen pantry. And then in the next room, they were set up, to hear us and to record and talk to us. I mean, it was tiny.
I imagine.
And that's where we recorded the first 8 episodes, the first season in the pantry. But they had us try out different stuff. They had us try out like maybe I'm his girl. They knew it was going to be Ben was the son, but maybe I was his girlfriend. Maybe I was the receptionist, and the receptionist stuff, like where I was always rebuffing him, seemed to work best. And we just went from there.
Did they know that you were a real life couple at that point? I assume they did.
They did.
Yeah.
I think we put it together. I think Jonathan knew, but whoever reached out to us didn't.
Gotcha.
So, what was it like working with H. John on the show overall? I mean, we've watched him now doing his voice work, and people are just like, "Could you just read the line, please?" And sometimes he'll be like, so I don't know if he's always been like that, or is he kind of growing into that?
For me, especially like playing the character I was playing, where I had to just be like really spare with words and just kind of like sigh and it was really frustrating and really annoying, and I would get really mad. And we talked about it on that podcast.
I just listened to it today, and I was like,
it was so much fun because it was like the first time I was like, you guys, like, I feel so embarrassed by myself back then. Like I would get so mad and I would get so frustrated, and they loved that. Like, Lauren said like his favorite sound ever was just my headphones coming off and down on the stool, because I was just done. Because he would go on, and he was hilarious and is hilarious, but he would go on and on and on, and I would just be like, they're like, oxygen is running out in this room.
In this pantry, it has to like this.
Oh, the pantry, yeah. No, we had a studio, but the oxygen did run.
I heard that bit, and I was like, that is just perfect. Just like hitting the headphones, like, oh my god, are you done with this? Can we please move on? And they said like he respected that at some point. It was like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
And maybe he just needed that check a little bit to be like, this is.
I mean, like, he's hilarious, and he can just go on. It's like, it's admirable and amazing. But yeah, I mean, back then it was, I would get really annoyed, but we also had a lot of fun.
Yeah. I'm sure there was some playfulness back and forth of like, how long can I keep this going before Laura?
So the first season of Dr. Katz, of course, was only 6 episodes, due, at least to our understanding, the Comedy Central. I'm sorry?
6?
That's 6, JB?
I said 8. No, you guys are right, I'm sure.
Oh, I
don't know. I went basically off of what was listed on Dr. Katz's IMDb, and it said basically that Comedy Central wasn't completely sold on
No.
if Squiggle Vision and stuff was going to work and if people were going to go into it. But
Yeah.
then once they kind of saw those episodes, they're like, yeah, go ahead, keep going. But then it was kind of a delayed because then they're like, well, now we have to animate it. We don't have anything. So they kind of scrambled to make more episodes.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I mean, it was a long time ago, but I just remember the feeling of like just like driving home with John and just we were just like, we're gonna be on TV. Like this is real. I mean, we lived in Boston, like we weren't even really trying yet to like become you know, we're just in the early stages of like doing sketch shows and stuff like that. So we're going to be on TV. Like we really, really are going to be like on actual TV.
Was it obviously excited to be on TV, but we were like, oh, I hope this takes off, or I don't know if it will. We need to get some our ducks in a row before we put all our eggs in one basket.
Well, I mean, we didn't really have, you know, we didn't have much else going on. So yeah, we really hoped it did, but we didn't expect it to. And, you know, I don't think that we really had like other things, like, you know, things that we were like turning down to, you know, I'm
really hoping this
gamble on this other thing.
Sorry, James Cameron, I'm a little busy right now.
No, we were just like, what, you know, like, I can't believe this is happening, you know? It was just really cool.
Well, in 2007, Comedy Central did a live version of Dr. Katz, which was done in front of a live audience out at the Hudson Theater in Los Angeles. The cast returned and reprised their roles, many of which have become very popular on the comedy circuit. Maria Bamford, Andy Kindler, Paul F. Tompkins, to name a few. You reprised your role of Laura again for the live show. There is a giant gap in my notes here. What was it like to do a live episode in front of people?
There you go. Good job, Mike.
We got there.
We did
it. Was fun. It was a little scary that first time. Because we did whole like scenes and stuff. I mean, just like it was kind of scary. I actually came across or someone sent me some video. What happened?
He'll be
okay,
back.
Whatever. Something I said.
No,
you can tell him this part later. I forgot what I was saying. Somebody sent me video from it, and I watched it, and I was just like, oh, we were like so cute, like we were so little, and cute. And like I had this dress from H&M that I loved, and I was like my go-to dress, and I was just like, I don't know, like I thought it, like I probably thought it was a disaster when we did it, and it was actually. Oh, you missed the best part. It was
literally the entire origin of Bob's just came out.
It was very like innocent and cute and good. Like we put our hearts into it.
Shit. All right, I'll watch it on the replay. I don't know what happened there. My computer just booted me off.
He talked some serious shit about you.
We did.
Fair enough. I've earned it. So
it was time. Yeah.
All right, JB. Enough. I lost my place. Take it away.
You guys continued doing the live shows for a little bit at different comedy shows and different festivals, and then the last final episodes were in 2008 during Sketchfest in San Francisco, and that had Bob Odenkirk and a special surprise guest, Robin Williams, which is huge for back then. What was it like to do that final episode with all those star-studded people coming on as basically just patients of Dr. Katz?
Okay, so I read this question. Well, am I not supposed to say that?
Oh, no, you're fine.
I kind of skimmed through it, and I read this question, and I was like, we did? I was like, that's not the answer they're looking for, but I remember being in San Francisco. I remember Sketchfest. I vaguely remember, now that you've reminded me that we did do Dr. Katz live, And now that I really, really think about it, I don't remember anything about doing the show. But I remember being around those people, and I remember Robin Williams being so, so nice to me and being like excited by, like, he was, you know, like he was complimentary and just very kind. And wait. Okay, let's go with that. No, because I'm remembering actually it was another time that he saw me perform randomly at another show in LA, like an improvised storytelling show, in which I told some kind of story that I think involved diarrhea.
As you do, yes.
He came up to me afterward and he said, "You're very brave." And I'm like, "No, not that exactly. Like, I'm gonna take it as a compliment."
Yeah.
I can just hear him saying, like, "You're very brave," and just walks away like, "Oh God." Ugh. Even he's like, "You don't. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it."
Yeah, I wouldn't go there.
It's funny. We've talked to quite a few people, and Bobby Tisdale comes to mind, and Ron Lynch comes to mind when we say, "Oh, you did X, Y, and Z," and it's like, "Are you sure?" And then our show kind of turns into a "This is your life," kind of thing.
There's so many things. You don't remember them all. I mean, even I'm not even close to those guys in the number of, things.
Yeah, but even like Ron, I remember him. I think he was even in the Boston New York circuit for comedy, and he's like, "Yeah, there really weren't any agents. It was just kind of people showed up to the club and like, who's funny?" And you're like, "Oh, those people are pretty funny."
Yeah.
And they go talk to them, and they're like, "Yeah, now they're doing something. That's good for them."
Yeah.
But it's just so weird how things are so different now.
Yeah, we all so many of us went from Boston to New York to LA, kind of all together. I love Ron. I used to do shows with him in LA a lot.
We had him on here, and he had the greatest exit for any interview we've done. We were all chatting, having a good time. And it was like, "All right, Ron, thank you very much for coming on." We did our exit, and he was like, "Oh, guys, one more thing," and then he hung up on us live, and I was like, "Oh no, get him back!" And then it's like, "Oh shit, no, okay."
It's a bit, yeah.
That we love that guy. He's he thought it was hysterical. All right, jumping into home movies, I think, right, JB? Is that where we're at?
The only question I had was, April of this year, you graced the podcast, which you've been talking about, back with Dr. Katz.
Oh, yes.
And I was curious if by any chance we might get a 30th anniversary. You don't have to say anything if there is something, but
there's nothing that I know about. You mean like what? Like an animated
or a podcast episode, or
I mean, that's Jonathan's podcast, and I actually am now I'm the co-host of it.
Yes,
because he just asked me to, and so I said sure, because he just needs help. Like, he has MS. They're hard. Sometimes it's hard for him to keep things moving or whatnot, and I said sure. So, and then we did that. The one with Lauren, what was it? Lauren, Tom, and Lauren and Tom. And so now the next one is with John Benjamin, Melissa Barden.
Oh yeah,
and Eugene.
Oh, nice. Wow. That'll be a fun one.
Yeah, it was fun, and we did it a while ago, but it was really fun. So we've kind of upped our games. I don't want to say since I came on the scene, but
it is.
It's not a coincidence.
It
isn't probably a coincidence, but it did happen.
You bring in that star power. Yeah. It's what you do.
And then there's one after that we did with Joy Behar and Susie Essman, who are lovely.
Ooh.
Okay, all things you know. I'm pretty sure everything kind of took off once you gave it the old Laura bump.
I mean,
exactly.
It's possible, but it's just my my energy.
Yeah, it's your aura.
Yes,
it's not like I'm booking guests or attracting guests.
It's just like a random message, like, "I have dirt on you. The show is at this time. You will be there."
Exactly.
Now it's home movies time. Let's go.
Okie dokie. All right. So you were involved in another project with Lauren Bouchard, of course, again, which is a favorite of ours. And, oh, Jesus Christ on a cracker. There we go. The show first aired in 1999, but you entered the show later as Linda Smalls. Lonnie, and a few other selected characters. Looking back at home movies, you were in some of our favorite episodes as Linda. What was it like to be back working with a lot of the same folks that you had worked on previously? Obviously, Lauren Bouchard again, but
Yeah. It was fun. I don't know. I'm sorry. My answers are so boring.
It's fine. Was it as simple as like, hey, we got another project. You want to come play in this?
Yeah. I'll do anything for Lauren. Like, he always he worries like that if a part is too small or something, he won't offer it to me. And I was just like, don't do that. Like, what else am I doing? Like, the money's the same is what I'm trying to say. The older you get, only 3 lines, I'm in.
And it's all the same. That's a statement.
You get a script like for, a TV show, whatever, and you look through and you see like how much you have. And then, you get older and you're like, it's the same rate.
Yeah. That is a state.
One scene. This is amazing.
That's a state worker's mentality right there. It's like I can do all the work or none of the work, and my pay doesn't change. I'm doing none of the work.
Sounds
wonderful. What are you gonna do?
Let's do it.
But whatever it is, I'm happy to do it all. Like I really enjoy still working with these guys. Oh, but back to home movies. So yeah, it was fun. I believe that I did it like remotely, so I wasn't there. And that was the stepmother.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't really remember very much about how I did the character or anything, but I'm sure it was great.
It was.
And then, but I have seen also recently for some reason, is I don't know who Lonnie is, maybe a kid.
JB.
I believe so. I'm looking at the picture right now, but I'm pretty sure I know exactly who it is. If it is that character,
was good.
I'll love it. No, let me look real quick. I'm pretty sure I wrote it. Yes, it's the girl. She's great. She says very few lines, which I'm sure is great. But when she does say something,
I don't want
it's
anyone out there to think that I'm like allergic to work. I like to work. It's okay.
It's almost like Dr. Katz's lines because it's very timed, and when they're said, they're just like boom, and then walk away. And it's just like they're very funny lines, and they're very little lines because it's just this very quiet little girl. But when she talks, she has lots to say.
I don't remember it at all. It's terrible. It's okay. I mean, you're bringing it back a little, but there was. I did a motivational speaker thing where I'm on stage and it's like we're like this troupe and we're like really cheesy and really awful and we're or like sensitivity training or something like that. And then Lauren just had me sing a song. He's like, okay, now you're just gonna sing a song. And I just completely like improvised a song in one take, just out of my ass. And I saw that recently too, and it's fucking hilarious. You have to look it up.
We'll post it on the Instagram. We got to find it, but yeah, we'll post it.
I'm gonna find it.
It's on YouTube.
Okay, I will find
it. And I actually got like writing credit for the song.
Oh, nice. So now, well, I assume anything that's spoken now has to have a writing credit to it, even if it is a freestyle.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Oh wait, about Dr. Katz though. I mean, you probably know this already, but it was one of the questions. I'm taking over.
No, you're fine. Right ahead. I'm good.
If it's improvised, it was all improvised. They wrote a script, and then we weren't allowed to see it until we were then given an outline that just was sort of like we need to go from A to B to C to D. Like these are the scenes, and then we just did them. But with nothing, like no information, and this is kind of how they do it on Curb too. Stole it from us.
Of course.
The
whole lot of them.
They didn't want us to be influenced by what the direction they took it in the script.
Oh, okay.
They wanted to just see what would happen. And so we did that we did the whole show through that way. And then for safety, we went back in and we just did the script.
Interesting. That is, and with that split like that, Did a majority of the improvised versions come out, or was it kind of a okay?
I think it was majority improvised.
Nice.
It's usually where the best stuff comes from.
Yeah.
And that's probably like when it's working, like, because you could kind of tell in like Dr. Katz there'd be a lot of improvising here and there. In home movies, there's certain moments where it's like this had to have been improvised.
Probably.
And
Sure.
there were moments as I was writing these questions, being a therapist, I was like, I liked Dr. Katz as a kid. That's probably a sign. And then my favorite episode with you playing Linda is when you went to family therapy. And the therapist was like, it's such a crackpot. And I was just like, this is so great. It's just like, it makes me feel like you don't listen to me when I ask these questions. And it's like, I just thought about it as a profession. I was like, wow, full circle. It's like
Wow. Okay,
Lauren Bouchard
good.
has slowly created my whole life.
Like what you were thinking was growing up watching these shows.
Yeah.
I can be a therapist and suck at it.
You can literally be like, this guy is getting paid to be horrible. And I'm just like, he's ruining this family's life. And literally Brendan's the only one yelling. He's like, this is stupid. And Linda's like, this is stupid. He's like, yeah, Linda. And he's like, we get it. And like, they became friends. And I was like, oh, it actually worked out. He's like, I'll send you the bill. It's like, he did nothing. But I liked Linda. She was sassy. She was funny. And she just kind of said how it was. I always liked that about her as a character. She was like the realist on the show.
Okay, if you say so. I don't remember. I don't remember. Is there something wrong with me, or is this like actually cool of me?
Very cool of you.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, okay.
Super cool. Your comments like sit backwards in a chair and have a leather jacket on and backwards hat. That's how cool. That's hip hop. Let's jump into something a little more modern.
Okay.
Bob's Burgers.
Yeah.
In 2011, once again, you're back with Lauren Bouchard on Bob's Burgers, playing Andy Pesto. Your sister Sarah, of course, playing Ollie. Andy and Ollie are often compared to Perry and Walter of home movies. Oh my God. Okay, so obviously your relation with Lauren for a third time. Did you audition for this role, or was it kind of like the same thing with all the other projects?
No, we didn't audition. They just asked us to do it.
So they asked both of you. It was always, hey, oh, okay, fair enough.
And Andy and Ollie, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret.
Go on.
Andy and Ollie are Walter and Perry.
That's what I thought.
There's no, I don't know if that's,
Well, it's weird. We've seen quite a few nods to home movies in Bob's Burgers. We've seen Coach show up. We've seen Brendan show up in an episode, and in a soccer episode. So, okay, this checks out. This makes sense now.
Mm-hmm. I mean, essentially, like they are.
That's the vibe I got from them, especially like there's a field trip where they're not partners and they just start screaming and they're like, oh, no, sorry. Andy and Ollie are together. And they're like, oh, that's good.
I mean, the difference is that it's me and Sarah. So like, when we bring our own, I don't know. Well, like, because, we're doing it and so it's different in that way. Different. But it's the same concept, except we're actually twins, so it's like even creepier.
It's always
it's two boys that are in love with each other who are also identical twins.
Yes.
Actually.
Weirder things have happened, I suppose. Now it's a fun fact amongst the fans that Andy is indeed older than Ollie.
Really? How do you know that?
We know too much about too little. There's a lot going on here.
There's a line that is said, and we know that because people have brought it up. So we're like, all right, we now know that. We hold on to it.
Now, was the fact of you being Andy and Sarah being Ollie, is it just a weird coincidence that you are obviously older than Sarah? Now Andy is older than Ollie, or did it just kind of happen that way? Or
Or they're like, pick which shirt color you like. Which one do you want to be?
Yeah. How did who get
It
who?
was nothing like that. I've also, I don't know if I'm giving away company secrets here, but I've also been told, like laughingly by Lauren, that Andy and Ollie are interchangeable. They don't write for Andy and they don't write for Ollie.
Oh.
Right, Andy, Ollie, Andy, Ollie, Andy, Ollie, and
Yeah.
whatever line happens to fall, like they're completely interchangeable. They don't distinguish us as characters when they write it.
Oh, interesting.
Interesting. Okay.
So there's that, and so I don't think any thought was put into that at all.
So they're like, we just want the Silvermans, get them, and we'll just
yeah, I mean, because we sound so much alike too.
So then, how do you two determine who gets which line? If they are interchangeable,
Let's say Andy, Ollie.
Okay, so then okay.
But I guess what he was saying is like we don't go like Andy says and then Ollie would say, but Andy would say, it's just Andy and Ollie, and however they write it, whichever name they type first, then it goes Andy, Ollie, but like it's interchangeable.
Also, no worries. We've had other people spoil stuff that for seasons that haven't even happened yet, and they're like, "Wait, shit, I don't know if I should say that." I'm like, "Too late now."
Yeah.
So, no company secrets are safe here. We're fine. We're fine. Okay. Now, did they, upon getting these roles, did they give you any direction as to like, "Hey, this is the vibe we're feeling for Andy and Ollie," or did they just say, "You two, take it away. We already know what you all are all about, and we love that."
I think, like to the best of my recollection, I remember Lauren saying like not to really change our voices.
Okay.
But the characters, I think maybe if you go back to like early episodes, they might sound a little different because I feel like Sarah kept putting more spit on the ball, and so then I would too. Like, like we just would like, and we yell a lot. So like when I yell, it comes out like really high pitched, and I don't know. We just started kind of like crafting them a little, but initial direction is like don't do anything.
It's basically just
what I'm best at.
That's great. Like a lot of the cast, other than really John Roberts, everybody just kind of seems to come with their own voice. Eugene, Kristen, Sean, of course. So that's great. They were like, we love your voice as is. You don't need to child it up just because you're playing a kid. Just do your voice.
Be yourselves.
But there's like, your voice changes just because like the way that we're yelling, and then like what we're saying makes us say it in a certain way that isn't like the way we normally talk. Like when they're being sweet and they're like, like you just make it littler because it's so cute. You can't help it. But I mean, I think that people are happy with how it ended up, so it's fine.
Yeah. I always assumed they did like a pitch shift or something to make it sound younger, but then no, this is literally just everybody's voices. Maybe it's because you see it coming out of a child that you just assume, oh, these are just younger voices.
No, like they're actually like really, really against that on that show.
Nice. That's great.
That's
to hear,
actually cool.
Yeah.
And you have some of the lines that people remember, like "Back to you, Andy," "Back to you, Ollie," and just the "I peed Andy's pants."
Yeah, it's good. I mean, we used to improvise a lot, and I mean, we still do, but not together. Like ever since COVID, for some reason, we used to go to cast recordings, and we would record with the actors that we were interacting with, and we would interact with each other and have so much fun doing it. And they just haven't gotten back into like having people come. I mean, the cast does it now. But lately, I'm going in and they're like, "Oh, Sarah's coming in an hour." And I'm like, "Why don't you, why aren't we coming in together?"
Why?
And everyone's like,
"Why didn't she tell me?"
Everybody's like, "Why aren't they coming in together?" And then they're like, "Why aren't they coming in together?" It's just like this whole thing where like it never just actually happens. I don't know, like maybe we waste too much time together, and like that could be the answer, and no one's telling us. But
you should just like sit in a chair in the lobby when she walks in. She's like, "Well, hello there."
Oh, hello.
Nice
thought
to
someone
see
Funny
was
seeing you
separated.
here.
sister.
Like they're separating us because we don't get along or something, you know?
Well, we know they recently just got back to doing in-person table reads, so I mean,
Yeah.
slowly but surely, maybe they'll get the whole group together. I know half of them are on the East Coast now, and
Yeah,
it's
people are
much harder.
scattered. I went to a table read recently. This is funny. And I read, like, I subbed. I did
Oh yeah.
Andy, but I subbed for a character that was like, had a lot, like a big part. So they had me sub and come again. I'm like so happy to do it. It's fun. And
Yeah.
and I was like, maybe like if I do a really good job and get a lot of laughs, that maybe they'll use me for this character. And so, I did it and it went great. And I got like, really good laughs and really good reaction. And I was like, and then the writer came over and he's like, that's great. And he goes, that was great. Thank you so much. And he's like, yeah, we're thinking of getting Meryl Streep. It was just like
Okay.
so funny, like
We're
me
calling it a
their
favor.
characters is so like I would love to, but it's just they're so far past me now. Like they can maybe get Meryl Streep if they decide to.
If we want, yeah.
If we want,
We want. We're still thinking it over. So I'm like, well, I get it.
She's waiting on our call. We'll get back to her.
So it's like I can't be mad about that.
Yeah, we've told Bette Midler no a few times. She's
Exactly. Like she's been dying to do the show, and
just dying.
She won't stop bugging us. We told her no at security, so.
But that is where it is now. Like they can get anyone. I mean, they're just like rock stars. That show. I'm so proud of Lauren. So proud of him. He deserves it all.
Yeah. It's so fun because I was fortunate enough to go to a table read, and some of the cast was on vacation, or they couldn't make the read, or they couldn't phone in or something. So Lauren read like 4 different characters, and to hear like Lauren doing Gretchen, I'm like, this is wild. I mean, that guy has so many talents, and voice acting is one of them. So it's fun. Jamie.
So what was it like? I know this show, like it's Bob's Burgers. Everyone knows about it now. But when it first started, a lot of people who've come on have been like, it was really kind of like hit or miss. And we weren't sure if it was going to get renewed or not. What was it like to be on this show, being a pretty prominent character with Andy and Ollie in the first couple seasons, knowing like maybe this will work, maybe it won't?
I had no awareness of it whatsoever.
Maybe that's a good thing.
I didn't, and like we're guest cast, so like we're not regulars. So like if I was a series regular, and I had a contract and I was making that money, then yeah, I would be thinking about it. But we're just guest cast, so like it, I wasn't even really in on that intel. I didn't think about it. I didn't know.
No, that's a standard answer we get from a lot of people. Actually, it's like I don't.
You don't know anything. Like you drive yourself crazy in this business if you're like, oh God, I hope this. Like just
have fun.
I also got to assume I was like, all right, I got to find something else to do right now until this other thing picks up, and you don't have time to focus on what you did 6 months ago, waiting for it to come on here. So.
You can't count on anything.
Yeah, I hear that. I hear that.
I feel like I feel so lucky to be doing it because, it's whatever. Never mind. It's fun and it's people I love and people seem to love the show.
Yeah,
I have only seen 1 episode, and I don't know which one it was. I was at my aunt's house. And we turned on the TV and it was on and we just watched it and we laughed really hard. We thought it was really fun, but
that makes
this is actually a pretty standard answer.
Yeah.
Because even like we've had people who like write episodes come on and they'll be like, did I write that one?
Yeah.
And they're like, I don't remember doing that. And like we've had directors for episodes come on and be like, did I direct that one? Did I? And then like, yeah, I guess I did do that one.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like you forget about it. And sometimes you're just like, I don't really need to watch it. Like that's already happened. I did the lines.
I've done a lot of animation at this point and I've seen very little of it. Very little.
Well,
I can't even tell you what, like some of the shows I don't even know what they're about, or
Well, it's like the old joke, like the guy who works at Subway doesn't want to go home and make a sandwich, so like
yeah,
you're not gonna go home and watch your own show.
yeah.
Yeah, so we get that. You got a lot going on. You're writing novels, so you
I'm
get it.
writing a novel.
Okay, it's more than I ever done. So good
Mhm.
on you.
And most people who talk, like you, are voice actors who talk to us about stuff, is like it's kind of like being on a Wes Anderson set. They're like, it's just fun to be with
It's just
everybody.
fun. It's all just fun.
So they're like, whether the
There's
lines
not a
are long
single
or not, it doesn't
session
matter.
that I don't at one point go like, this is a job.
Mhm.
Like I'm like, whoa, wow, like this is an actual job that a person has, and that person's me. Like they're just like, okay, give us like some effort sounds, like you're running from a zombie. You know, like it's like and like a little like startle. Oh, you know, like and then I'm like, this is a job. This is my job.
God, that's so much different. I wake up and I go, "This is my job."
I know. So
This
like,
is my
what's
job.
something to complain about?
So now that we know that you're as big a Bob's expert as we are,
Yeah.
and you've seen
I'm sorry.
and you've seen all the one episode.
I don't know
let's have,
when it was.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Do you have a favorite line of yours that you've delivered as Andy that you can recall?
Oh, I probably have, like, when I said it, thought like that's my favorite Andy line ever.
This is my opus for Andy.
But I don't remember.
Yeah.
But I love so many of them. Oh, okay. Well, no, this is controversial though.
Uh-oh.
It's not an AA meeting.
Well, you've also said you only watched the one episode, so I don't think we can get any more controversial.
Okay, so I don't know if I should say this. Well, okay, never mind.
You want to type it in the private chat? We got a private chat, everybody. You'll never know about that.
Okay.
Never know.
Ooh. Audience. No.
We don't have to.
Yeah. Maybe off air.
Yeah.
We yeah. But we'd love to hear it though.
We would definitely would. We've heard things, but
we've heard rumors. Not rumors, but murmurs.
Yes. Rustlings.
Ooh, I hope people are just going crazy thinking.
Oh, you're losing your mind, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you wish. It's about the government and UFOs, and you'll never know. Never know.
It's a line from the movie that never got aired, guys.
Yeah.
I think there was something about like I wish I could unzip you, or wish I could like cut you open.
Oh.
I know what that. Yeah.
Were you I don't know what it was.
Wear your skin or something.
Yeah.
It was back and forth of like, and it ended with crawl inside you, or
yeah.
we were like thought we were gonna die, or we were cold, or I don't know, something like that.
I think I even know the episode, but yeah. I think Ollie says to Andy, like, you can cut me open and crawl inside for warmth if you need it. And he's like, thanks, I will. And it's like just really just cute and also very creepy at the same time.
Very creepy.
JB, that brings us to the movie.
All right, so the movie was released back in 2022. It's the 2-year anniversary. Our last month of it. Did you hear about the movie coming out early, or was it kind of like last minute, or?
What do you mean coming out early?
Oh, did you know that they were making the movie, or did they kind of like?
No, I knew they were making a movie because I knew they were writing it. Yeah, I knew they were making a movie. Nora Smith wrote it with Lauren. She's amazing, and yeah, I knew she was working on the movie with Lauren. And then when it was recorded, it was during COVID, like kind of the height of it, and so I actually recorded the movie in my bedroom closet.
And it came out fantastic.
Yeah, we got cut. You can vaguely hear us, I think, like maybe just going like la 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 or something like
that. Yeah.
Them, I don't know, but Lauren did post. We had one little scene, and Lauren did post it, I think, somewhere on social media.
I know you have the scene of all of you walking to school, and I think Andy and Ollie were talking about marrying each other.
Okay.
Yes.
which checks out. And
Yeah,
then
It
they were
does check
talking
out.
to Luis about falling into the hole or something like that. Something along those
Or
lines.
no, oh, Mr. Belcher, what are you going to do if your restaurant falls in the hole? Will you get
Oh,
another
yeah.
restaurant?
You have another restaurant. Yeah.
No, I'm just going to try to keep this one, Andy. Okay.
Now, not too many shows jump to a movie, especially
Yeah.
like animation. Did you think, yeah, this could work as a movie? Or you're like, hey, I'm on board, let's do it.
I thought it was going to be huge
Mm-hmm.
because people love the show so much.
Right.
I think the timing. I mean, I'm not saying the movie didn't do well, but I think it did. Like, I think Lauren said it did well enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it wasn't. The timing was weird. It was COVID. People
Yep.
weren't really going to theaters much yet.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a strange time. And,
Yeah.
But I think probably people tend to watch movies, more after. Like I'm noticing, like, just from like residual checks and stuff like that is starting to get generated now, later, that people are watching it at their leisure.
It COVID definitely hurt it, like especially with Bob's audience in particular. We know a lot of folks, a lot of younger kids who are like, I want to see the movie, but I'm still too scared to go out.
Yeah.
Whereas you have something like Top Gun, which is a completely different audience, saying, "Oh, F all that, I'm going to the theaters right now. I'm gonna see it 10 times."
Yeah.
Fauci is a criminal.
Yeah, what's a COVID? I don't know.
Exactly. Lock it up.
So people always like to make that comparison. It's like, well, Top Gun did $1 billion. How come they didn't? It's like, it's two totally different audiences.
Yeah, two different audiences. Yeah. And from what we know of the movie was technically pretty much almost done, but then COVID hit because their plan was to release it for the 10th season, and it got delayed.
Oh, okay.
And then they're like, it was supposed to be like our 10th season. Like, here's the movie. It's a big launch into the next season. And they're like, everything got pushed back. And
yeah,
as you said, timing. And they're just like, it was just all kind of thrown off.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it happens.
But we love it. It's a fantastic movie.
We love it.
Now, were you able to, and again, hi to COVID, everybody's still a little on edge. Did you attend the premiere or any of the multiple premieres?
I did go to the premiere, and my husband's always pushing me to like actually do things and see people and like make appearances. So I went to the premiere and I had a blast. I mean, these are all my friends, even a lot of the writers and people that I didn't even know, way back in the day, or like Charles John Schrader is like brother to me.
Big John, yeah, he's fun.
Was this the red carpet premiere?
Yeah.
Okay, we were there too.
We were there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was fun.
We weren't allowed to walk that red carpet. We had to walk the back red carpet.
Oh.
Fun.
No, we were on the main. Yeah, no, it was fun seeing and just being invited and being able to go and seeing everybody. It was.
I had a really good time.
It was like a definitely.
Out, I was like, oh man, we got cut out of this movie. Like, I feel stupid being at the premiere now. But whatever. I didn't really care. And then I saw John Benjamin when I was walking out, and he said something like, the movie could have had a little more Bob in it. I was like,
of course,
he's
got a bigger gripe than me. He's the star of the show.
It was fun. We after the movie had wrapped and everybody was kind of rubbing elbows and all that, we were looking around for John, and apparently he just made a beeline out of there as soon as it was wrapped. He's like, I'm done. I'm going. I'm leaving.
He was there. Well, in the LA premiere?
Yeah. Well, he was there.
He was like sitting sort of by the back, like where you walk to get out. He was kind of in a corner.
Yeah.
I think he had planned his exit. Kristen hung around, and John Roberts also, I think, stayed for a second and snuck out. But there's a couple that hung around, and I think they were the ones that were like, we'll hang out with people. You can just go.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't stay for very long. I mean, it's fun just sort of chatting with everybody beforehand. Everybody's excited, and it was a beautiful afternoon. And then afterwards, stayed for a little bit, and yeah.
Now, did you record anything that got cut from the final on-screen film, or was it kind of like what you did ended
Yeah.
up on there?
Yeah, she said
No,
there
there was
was a scene
nothing on
that
the film.
Lauren had something for them and it got
Was
cut.
Yeah, we
Oh,
did
I
a
missed
scene.
that.
We did one scene. Um, and you just hear us kind of, I don't know what in the movie, it's like you just kind of hear us in the just
Yeah.
like muttering or talk,
Mhm.
like you can't make it out, or I don't know what we're doing, but you can't. No,
Yeah.
there was a little scene.
So
Oh.
there was like animatics for it.
Yeah, there was a little scene, and I think Lauren posted it somewhere.
Oh, okay. Then that's what. Okay, then I got it.
We
Weird.
had this conversation.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god. No, because I know, listening to the commentary, I know we had Andy and Ollie having their conversation as the Belcher kids were talking, doing the la 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 bit. But then I must have blacked out. Maybe this is when my internet cut out. Let's just say that. Let's just say that's when that happened.
Let's just say that.
Yeah.
No, I mean, yeah, that was the scene, but there was a little scene. It was like
There was more to
you
it.
were walking down the street.
Yeah.
It was like us having a little exchange,
Oh, okay.
and then it went back to the kids. But they just
okay.
cut it for time or whatever.
Oh, fair enough. It's probably them explaining the rest of the plot of the movie. It's like, did you know Grover did it all? And they're like, holy shit, no, cut. Why did they say that? Fair enough.
It was posted somewhere, and I don't remember what the scene was.
We will find it. Don't you worry about that. It's what we do.
It is what we do.
Okay, good.
JD.
I love it. I mean, like, people have Andy and Ollie tattoos.
Do you ever go to Comic-Con and just see the cosplayers? Because we've seen Andy and Ollie cosplayers.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing.
I mean,
They're committed.
Oh, we are inviting you. We're nobody, but we're inviting you.
Like, just to go to, you mean to actually just go to Comic-Con?
Yeah.
You do that? You go to Comic-Con, like, just to go to Comic-Con?
Oh, we work at Comic-Con with our buddy Todd. Yeah.
We work,
Okay.
yeah.
I got scared. No, because I went to Comic-Con 2 or 3 times. I guess with the Sarah Silverman program we went, weirdly. I guess there's TV shows now too.
Yes.
And I found it terrifying. Like, the saving grace was that we were like shuttled from the hotel to the venue and then led through like a back thing into the thing. But it's just swarming with people.
It is.
It is.
That's terrifying to me. It's also people who are like really, really, really into things.
Yeah.
I find it very frightening.
Yes.
Yeah, like we like to think we're really into Bob's Burgers and we dig it. But then we get put to shame when we go to a Comic-Con.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for the fact that we're working behind a table, I would never go because that's
it's mobbed.
too much.
It's too
Like,
much.
I don't know how people reserve their hotel rooms like 2 years in advance and stuff.
And it's like $300 a night. And I don't know about anybody else, but I work for the state. I don't have $300 a night kind of money. So
No, I just like enjoyed being at like whatever shitty hotel they put us in and swimming in the pool and hanging out and like just getting picked up when that was supposed to be picked up, and we'd do panels and stuff and go back.
We mostly do the pool. We like that first part a lot. If we could get shuttled around, that would be totally cool by us.
Nobody's there. Everyone at the hotel is at Comic-Con.
Yeah, it's
hard to drive in. It's just like you feel. I mean, and we were like pretty much nobody, and you feel like One Direction like comes in the car. It's just there's so many people.
Yeah,
it's scary.
Yeah, I bet it's weird as a fan because we went to Comic-Con for the first time a couple years ago. Again, working with our buddies at Toddland, and we have to act like we've been there before.
Yeah.
Like act like you belong here, and we're like, we don't.
What does
and
that
you
mean?
do.
And then you find out real quick it's like trial by fire. There's people here that definitely know more than you. They're very into everything, and you have to just be like, just go with it,
Just
run with it.
The motto is just be fucking cool. That's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah, just be cool. No pressure whatsoever.
Well, it has been a pleasure. Thank you for giving us any amount of time. We really appreciate it. We've been going on an hour here. I know we're on wind down mommy time. Definitely wind down co-host time.
Yeah, it's Dick Wolf time.
Yep. No, it definitely is.
Listen,
he's going to put his CPAP on. This is my only time to just mellow because I have a little 2-year-old. So this is it.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. You gotta do the IV, like an IV of Dick Wolf. That's what I do to get sleepy.
No, I'm gonna go to bed with some good dick, and we're just gonna call it a night. We're gonna howl into that good night with some good old dick, like we like to do.
I mean, if we don't end it here, we're just bad at this.
Shit, but I should have given you the opportunity to shout anything out before I made my awesome joke.
Yeah. I know.
Anything you'd like to plug before we wrap up here?
Yes, before Mike gets his.
Not at the moment.
All right.
Well, let us know when the novel's done.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep your eyes peeled for my new novel.
Well, let's give it a title now. A Dick in the Night.
I don't know what title it. It's called I Opened the Window and Outfluenza. No, it's not called that.
No, that's where we ended right there.
That's my poetry volume. Okay.
Well, on behalf of JB and myself, and of course our lovely guest Laura Silverman, this has been From the Great North to Wonder Wharf, your unofficial one-stop destination for bento box information. We will see you next week when we sit down with Damon Wong. Sorry, everybody. Good night. We will see you next week.
You just gave up.
We just gave up. That's what we do.